Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. As always, huge massive thank you for all the support. So today I'm still on the Enchanted Realm. So this is the last sheet to do. So there's just going to be this video and one more on this kit. So this is the Stay Strong with the beautiful stag and the bear as well. So you've got the stag and the foiling on the bear there, which is very, very cute. So today I thought I would do stepper cards for both of these, but sort of different styles, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to bring in the trimmer. I've got a piece of card that is, as always, 6 by 12. And what I'm going to do is put this over to the 1 1/4 mark. And I'm going to cut from 1 till 7. And I'm just going to flip that over and do exactly the same on the other side. 1, 2, 7. Okay. And then I'll bring in the scoreboard. And I need to score at 1 inch, and then if I just take that down there, and I want the 2 inch as well. So again, all the way down and then up on the other side, so you mirror in both sides, and then 6 inches, and I'm just going to have to feel for this one just across there in the center, and then on the 7 inch mark, just those 2 little sides again. Okay, so you got 1, 2, and 7 for the outsides and 6 on the inside. And again, this is my 300 GSM white card. This just happened to come from paper cuts, but there are loads of places that just do plain white cards. So just what I generally do when I run out is have a look for the best sort of deals that are around at that moment. Okay, so let's just give that a gentle squash down. We can burnish all of these edges. And then we've got our stepper card. Now it's not as neat on the edges as I would have liked, just purely due to that trimmer blade, which I really am going to have to make decisions on that fairly shortly. Take it off, that works. So I don't know if you have that same problem with a bit of fluff on the edge. If you just rub it gently with your bone folder, it may, because that's cleaned it up quite nicely. Happy with that. Okay, so let's pop that to the side. So next I'm going to bring in the little Hunkydory guillotine. So we need to start on our mats. So the first mat I'm going to do is they're all going to be gold, these mats. So I'm going to do one to go along here. So I've just got a piece of leftover from last time. I'm thinking this will probably be 2 notches under the 6, and then I want to just do it 2 notches under 1 1/4, so it makes it 1 and 2 notches really. So just doing my best to make sure that's straight. Oh no, apologies, so that's 1 inch there. So let's get a bigger piece. That's going to be easier, I think. So we know this is 6, so I'm just going to take that down to 2 notches under the wall. 2 notches. So I'm taking an inch off here, off this end. So I know that's 6. So if I go to 5 and 2 notches, I should be cutting it off. 1 minus 2 notches, so that works out quite well. And then I just need to take 2 notches off that end, so that is going to fit on there quite nicely. Okay, and then these pieces on the inside, they are the ones that were 1 1/4. Yes, they were, and their length is 5. So for this we need, let's see, I'm actually going to swap over to the other trimmer. I think it's going to be easy. I'm hoping it's not going to play up for me. It's just easier because I've got that bit on this other side. So let me clean the channel out first of all, because it doesn't help if that is all wrapped up with stuff. So I'm just running my knife along the inside. Just get filled up with little bits of paper, that's all. So 1 1/4 minus 2 notches. So that one that we did before will fit in there, so we can cut that down so that's not wasted. So really it's 1 inch plus 2 notches, and then it was 5. It was 5, wasn't it? Oh, let's do it that way. 1, 2, yeah, it was 5. So 5 minus 2 notches. Just check that fits in there quite nicely, and it does. And then 5 minus 2 notches, that piece there. Okay, and then for this centre panel, let me just measure that. I did write all these down when I did it before, but I have the worst memory. So in inches it is 3 1/2 by 5. So let's have a little look. So pretty sure that's going to be 5. So let's take the 2 notches off there, and then 3 1/2 minus 2 notches. I think that should fit quite nicely onto there, and it does. Okay, so moving on to these pieces. Okay, so what I wanted to do was put this stag on the center of there. So we know that's 3 1/2 minus 2 notches, so I'm going to come down to 3 1/4, and I'm just taking that edge off. And then it was 5 inches, so it's going to be 4 3/4. Now I am going to lose some of his antlers if I do it that way, so let me just cut above the antlers, turn that round, take that down to 4 notches. 3, 4. So I'm going to take a tiny bit more. Just trying to save as much of the actual image as I can. So I've still got this bit of detail coming in, but I've got the beautiful antlers there, which is what I was looking for. Okay, so for the sides, I think I'm going to use this. So we just need 2 pieces at 1 inch. And then they're going to need to be 4 3/4 inches. And I don't think we're going to be able to use that, no. So let's just take another piece off. So 1 inch. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 3/4. That's there. And then for this front piece, so just might come along with this border. We might not need to do any more cutting. Let's just snip that out and see what I need on the other side of that. And it's that tiny one. So so we will need something. I'm thinking of using the papers, maybe with something a bit contrasting. So we have got the blues and browns, so maybe if I came in with a little piece of this white brown patterned, the same problem again really, because right, let me just cut that to 6 inches, leave that for another time, and then if I go to 5 1/4, and I believe that should fit quite nicely onto there, and it does. And then that was 6 inches, so we're going to take a couple of notches off it, so it's going to be 5 3/4, and that should fit quite nicely onto there. Yes, and then we've got our little border to put on there as well. Okay, so let's pop that out the way, move that to the side. Don't think I'm going to have any use for those pieces, so let's put those in the bin. I'll tidy a little space a bit. Okay, so let's pop these together. So with this one, I'm just going to go with this Crafter's Companion dotty pen, and doesn't matter which way I go with it, because you aren't actually going to see a lot of the pattern, because it's going to be hidden by that border. And then I'm going to put that onto foam pads, so that's going to be raised up, so these can go onto there again. So I'm going to be using my Kalau all-purpose glue, which is I got from Crafter's Companion, and I always just put a little bit of tacky in the corners. This does two things for me. One, it makes sure the tacky glue makes sure it sticks quite quickly, so that means if I'm doing something like this where I need to be moving and popping it down somewhere else fairly quickly, I don't have to worry so much about it moving, because the all-purpose glue is fantastic, but it does take a little while to just go off, if you like. So quite often, if it was just the all-purpose glue, if I was then to put this on here and try and maneuver that, then I would find that this would move, and it's quite annoying when you come back and you haven't realised, and then your card's not straight, you know. So just be aware of that with that glue if you are using it also. So let's put some bits together on our card. So this is going on to the front first, and we'll pop that onto there. Okay, and then this one again, put our little edges on, and that's going in. Oops, got a few fireworks going off tonight, so I don't know if we'll get a visit from George, or whether he's going to stay downstairs with his mummy. He wasn't very keen on going for a walk a little while ago, so he's realised that when it's dark, it's the time when the bangs come. So unfortunately, it means that he's not going to enjoy his walks this time of year. Pippin was the same, bless him, because until he went deaf, and then he didn't care. But very frightened of fireworks. He used to shake something chronic. I just thought he was going to give himself a heart attack the way he was going, but then he went deaf, and I was like, God bless, thank you. It's a blessing, because it didn't affect him in any way in his life really, because, you know, all of them, most of them were quite old at that time, so they all had different little issues going on. So these are, I think, about a 2mm pad. These are the Hunkydory ones. So what I'm doing is turning this into my topper. And let's cut that off there. Just to give that a bit of extra support there. Okay, it's coming together now. Once you've got all the bits cut out, it really comes together. You know, it doesn't take very long to assemble. I'll pop these things together. And people like a stepper card. They think, you know, whenever I've given a stepper card, they always go, ooh, like it's something very different. But they're not my favourite thing to do, I have to be honest. But they do look nice when they're done. Okay, so I'm just going to, come on now, you've got the glue on, so you should be, just move that over a little bit. So that's why I put tacky glue on the back of those foam pads, so it just gives you a little bit of time to get that foam pad back off if it's not quite straight, and reposition. Okay, so let's just bring this guillotine back in. Oops, crash and wallop. So I'm just going to cut the end off that so I've got a nice flat end. And I think with this one we'll just go to 4 notches under the 6. So it should go the entire length of that, but we should have that gold border at each end. Oops. Chair, apologies. And then for this one again, I'm just going to pop a little bit of a lift. So I've got a 1mm pad here. I'm just going to cut those down a little bit. We'll just give this a little bit of a raise as well, just to give it a bit of on the card. So that's that. And then we just need to pick out some sentiment and some decoration. Now, if you've got any sort of vine dies, you know, Hunkydory have done lots of dies with sort of leaves and things, that would look lovely going up there, especially if you did them on gold against that green. So again, a bit of tacky glue. Is there a right or a wrong way? We'll go that way. I don't think there really is right or wrong, but so I'm just going to pop that into the middle and down. Okay, so that's where we're at the moment. So let's have a look at the sentiments. I don't think we're going to use the big one. That's going to be way too big. My initial thought was to use these tags because I thought they would fit quite nicely and I could maybe come above the top. I'll have a look what it looks like, but the sentiment on it is so very grateful for everything you do. So we could go like that, which looks nice. We could go like that, or we could come above. I'm not liking the going above. I'm thinking maybe one up, one down. No. We'll go like that. So again, I'm going to use these 1mm pads. Let's just cut those in half. I'm not going to put a bow on them. I'm going to put a gem on the actual whole bit, so I'm not taking the whole bit off. I do learn sometimes and think about these things in advance. So a little bit of sticky, want that sort of in the middle, and then again into there. And we need to match this up with that. And I think around about there. It's slightly higher. Let's see. We could just move that down just a tad. There. That's a bit better. Okay. And then I think for this one I'll come in maybe with some pearls. So I've got these two. They've got slightly different colours of gold on. One's sort of a more bronzy gold and one is a goldy gold. So I thought I would try and use maybe a combination of both. So I think for the centres of these tags, I'm just putting a little bit on. I know they got sticky on, but I do just like to have a bit extra. Don't know whether to go with these huge ones. Let's see if we can get that off. Oh, I think that's too big. Let's go with a medium. Yeah, I think that's nice. Put one on there. One on there. And then we have got some of the smaller ones here with that one. So maybe we'll just stick with these goldy ones and just do one there and one there, and I'm going to pop this larger one. I'm trying hard not to lose any of these now because literally is all that I have. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. So I think I'll still go with these medium ones. I think that other one is huge. So we'll use up these little bitty ones. Oops. Move down now. Come on, play the game. There we go. That one on there. Just see if those are straight. So let's move the lid down a bit to that corner. That's better. And there, yeah. So all that needs now is a little insert. What I would do is I would cut it to this size here. So let's see, that's going to be 5 inches by 6. And I would just put it on the inside there. So that's what I'm going to do for the insert on that one. Okay, so let me pop that to the side for those gems to dry. And if I pick up another piece of card here, again 6 by 12, and like I said, this is going to be another stepper card but a slightly different, a very different version. Let me just pick up my score tool, falling on the floor. Right, okay. So I need to score. Let me just move those out of the way. I did write this down. So I'm going to score at 4. And then because I've got the small board, I'm going to bring that around and score at 2 and at 4 again. So if you haven't got the small scoreboard, you just need to do at 4, 8 and 10. Okay, so let's give these a fold over. So give that a burnish down and a burnish down. And just making sure I do those underneath ones as well, just to make sure that when my card sits, that's the shape it's going to be. Okay. So let's pop that to the side. So remember, we've got 4 by 6 and 2 by 6 panels. So let's come in again. I'll come in with this little one. Still using these little mirror mats. And I'm going to cut a piece that is 2 notches under the 4 by 2 notches under the 6, and then this piece, which I probably should have done first, would have made life easier for myself, 2 notches under the 2 and 2 notches under the 6. So let's just check those are quite nice and flush and straight as well. That's okay, we'll just double check it on my board as well. That one's fine. So what I'm going to do is just check the cover the line on my board. I think it does go in just a tiny bit. Let me just move these out of the way. I'll bring in that other trimmer. Let's just double check. So we were 2 notches. 2. Oh, do you know, I'm just going to cut that again with the other trimmer. It's a pain, it's a pain, but I really must get that sorted. That's my job for tomorrow. Right, let's take another piece. We know it needs to be 2 notches under the 2, so if I cut this at 4 and 2 notches, then I know this piece should be 2 notches under the 2. That should be straight, and I'm a bit happy with that. Okay, perfect. Okay, so then we're coming into this cardstock here. So I've got to decide on how I want this stripe to go. So I could have it at the bottom. So let's bring that in so I can show you. So I could have that on there. So that's the bottom step. Or I can cut it so that there's a piece on each side, which I could then sort of do one that side and then maybe one on the other side, so it's different. I kind of do like it along the bottom, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So if I take, let's learn from our mistakes here. So if I cut this down to 6 inches, so I've got a nice piece of card there, backup piece. It's probably going to be big enough if I need it to. So this bottom step is 2 inches and I need it to be 4 notches, so 1/4 of an inch smaller. So if I take that to 4 1/4, if my maths are correct, they are, and then I need to take that to 5 3/4 or 4 notches under the 6. And there we've got our perfect little map. Okay, and then this piece we are going to go to 4 notches under the 4, which is going to be 3 3/4, and then again 4 notches under the 6, which will be 5 3/4. So these pieces, I'm going to keep that one, that's my size, so they should be perfect for there. So let's bring those in, let's bring that in. Let's get these on the card and then we can decide how we want our topper and everything to go. So let's pop that onto there. And I probably should just say again, for people that are new, I don't plan any of these designs really beforehand. I'll pick a card shape that I think suits that card, and I'll have an idea of how I want the topper to go, but quite often once I've made the card up, it'll become apparent for some reason or another that that might not work, or it's just not making me feel like it's right, so sometimes I will change it from there. Okay, so pretty much they are on the fly in terms of planning side of things. So I was thinking maybe about putting a little bit of ribbon along there. Let's have a look. So I've got this rose gold coloured ribbon. I like that, but I want it just flat, so I don't want any anything else, no bows, no knots. Just want a little flat bit of ribbon. So if I bring some red liner tape or sticky, super sticky tape, onto the back, and I want it right about there because I'm going along that sort of border. I'm letting that border guide me. Let's give that a good burnish down so that it sticks nicely. Hopefully my topper's not moving. No, it's not. And the reason why I'm doing this now is that it's hidden behind when I glue this onto my step. Probably a bad idea to stick that there on there because it's going to glue. Okay, so let's I want to take it to about there. The hard thing now is not to pull your card so tight that it bows. There we go. So I'm going to cut the edge off there. I'm going to put some tacky glue underneath and on top of it, because what it does is it does stop that ribbon fraying. And then we can go in with our all-purpose glue. A little bit tacky in those corners. And pop that onto there. So I've just used this rose gold ribbon that I had already. If you haven't got rose gold, any gold will do. If you haven't got gold, I think green would work, either a light green or a darker green to match those hollies, anything like that. Okay, so then we're just coming in just normal with this one, just flat onto that back piece. Don't think it's got a way up, there are sort of branches on it. So let's just manoeuvre that into place. Glue, tacky glue on my fingers. Okay, so we can give that a good press down. And this is our card as it stands at the moment. So if I can bring that round, you see we've got that step there. So I am going to be using the stag. So you could change it up with the polar bear one, and I don't think it really even matters that the frame's slightly different. You've got the sort of tulipy type flowers, I think they are, but you could swap the frame for this one anyway. See, that is the same size, so you could swap the frame, have the bear instead if you wanted. So it's got three frames on this one, two frames on this one, sorry, a thin gold one and a very decorative one. So I'm just gently trying to get that out without breaking it, ripping it. There we go, I'm almost there. It's just holding in there. So my idea with this one was for it to come over the top, but I still want it to go in a 6-inch envelope if I can, but I don't want to lose anything. So I think we would be alright, because obviously that's going to come forward a little bit as well. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this one out. So I like to have a little bit of air between them. I may come back and use that in a second anyway. And I think what I'm going to do is, just to make this easy for myself, I'm going to glue this frame on flat. So let's just see. So I've got my card straight on there, and we want it to come to the 6-inch. So if I put my finger there, then I know I don't need my glue any further than that. And I'm using a tacky glue for this one because I want it to dry quite nice and quick for me. So again, coming back, just making sure that's nice and straight. I'm just going to get one of those teeny tiny doorbells. There is a little bit of glue there. I'm just going to get rid of that. It would dry clear anyway, but it's just nice not to have to think about that. And then this one, I'm going to come up quite high, so I'm going to use these Crafter's Companion ones. So, oops, just put it the right way up. It's not going to help putting it upside down. So I know I don't need to come past his little head. So let's pop some on there. And the reason why I'm not coming past his head is just that on the back of the card, when that's on there, I don't want to see any of the workings. Because if you see them, then you feel like you've got to hide them. And usually once you start trying to do things to hide things, it usually goes a bit pear-shaped. So let's pop that into there. And these are about a 5mm, so they are quite a chunky pad. Okay, so let's just, I'll stick into my cardigan today, the backs of these. Okay. So again, tacky glue. Let's just give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room time. And if I bring that frame back in, just so that I can get this perfectly in the middle. In, and then that gold frame, will slide down there just to be annoying. But it will come out. There we go. So that's how we are at the moment. So that is looking good. So then I think the only topper we can use now is going to be this big one, which is the "You are braver than you believe, stronger than you know, and smarter than you think." This has got the stags on it. The other two toppers are just for you and on to the next adventure do seem to be quite aimed at that beautiful bear. But the perfect thing about this card is that, you know, you've got loads of places that you can put this big one. I'm thinking to put it straight in the middle. Let me fold that up. I'm thinking that's going to go quite nicely in the middle. We could put it to the end. We could put it to that side now. I think I'm going to go in the middle with it. I'm not going to go high with it. I'm going to go with these. These are probably about 2mm. So if that's going in the middle, fine, just to pop things along that centre. So let's pop these out, or off even. I'm nearly at the end of this now. Just need to decorate with some gems. So let's put that onto there. So I'm just using my mat, and I've got 2 inches that side, 2 inches this side, so just trying to get it in the centre of these 2 inches. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit off, because at the end of the day it's handmade. this, you know, the closer we can get that, the better. So let's see if we want to bring any of that in. We could have it in as a little corner, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think what I'm going to try and do, and I don't know if it's going to work, so this could be interesting. I'm just going to grab some of those shiny gems. Okay, so let's pop some of these out. Okay, I'm going to open this card up quite fully. What I'm going to do, just clean my nozzle a little bit. Just a little bit of glue then. And I'm just going to put a little and we'll see how that looks. Going a little bit close together there. So let's bring in this. So it's looking a bit of a mess at the moment. Hopefully we will get that looking nicer. So just coming in with this sort of medium sized ones and the smaller ones in between. A smaller one. Okay. Sort of just put in whatever sort of size I feel. I'm not like going large to small, just really sort of mixing these up. Sort of trying to make a sort of flourishy shape. Don't know if it's going to quite work out like that, but that one. It's just something to add a little bit of interest, really. And then let's go it doesn't want to stop, so let's put you there. Let's try a smaller one. There we go, gotcha. Just got a little bit of glue on the top, I think, which is just pop one there. I don't know if this is going to quite turn out like a flourish, but we'll see. And you could just do little decorations on the side, you know, your usual free. However you want to do it, really. Oops, smaller one. think I need to just come round. There, let's grab some more of these teeny tiny ones. There we go. There we go. So, and then I think what I'm going to do is just to finish this off. Just to go up there. Probably not the best swirl you've ever seen, and I know there are templates out there that you can use to get a really good swirl. There. It's a good excuse to use all these teeny tiny gems up as well. Okay. Well, it's not quite a swirl, I'll be honest. But I think I'm going to leave it there. You know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Somebody may see something that I don't. But you've got the sort of idea. A sort of swirl. I could just do random places. Just do the corners. Don't think that bit's worked out as well as I would have hoped. But hey ho. It doesn't always. And when it dries I may look at it and add a little bit more to it. But we'll see. We'll see. I will take a picture as it is. Let me just bring in that other one as well. Definitely not looking like a swirl. But that is an idea. Anyway, you don't have to do this bit. You know, you might find something else. You might want to use one of the other toppers. You might want to bring that in. Do a little bit of decoration on there. Like somehow. Something like that. Or you may have the little book, you might want to cut a flower out of there, some more of this branching, anything like that really. But those are the two for today. So that's it for today. So back next time with the polar bears, 2 more cards, and then that's the whole kit used up, which is great for me because it means it's one less thing to store. After that I'm going to be moving on to the magazine, but I might have just 2 days off just to do a little bit of tidying and rearranging. So I'm just struggling to find things at the moment, and I think it's because I am the type of person that just dumps things down sometimes, or puts things on top of things. So I just need to have a little bit of a tidy up, and that's just going to make it a lot easier going forward. But thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.